Will Big Jack Horner show up in Shrek 5? The guy was a real villain, caused trouble, made a scene, and ended up grabbing everyone's attention. Now that he's officially part of the Shrek universe, the big question is, will DreamWorks bring him back? So come closer, hang out with me, because this topic is way too good. We're about to break it all down. Welcome to Cine Lovers, the place where we dive deep into movies and animation with that nostalgic and fun vibe. And today, we're talking about a character who totally stole the show in Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, Big Jack Horner. Let's be real, this guy is completely off the rails. Spoiled, selfish, didn't treat anyone well, not even the people helping him. He's a true old-school villain, the kind we love to hate. And on top of that, he had a great comedic side. And here's something interesting. A lot of people, myself included, thought Big Jack Horner was a character made up by DreamWorks just to spice up the Puss in Boots plot. But no! Just like so many other characters in the Shrek franchise, he actually comes from fairy tales. And that's one of the coolest things, right? DreamWorks has this amazing style of mixing classic fairy tale characters with new, bold, and personality-filled stories, and that's exactly how Jack Horner joined the family. And you can join the Cine Lovers family too. Just hit that subscribe button. Thank you! Now, before we figure out whether or not he's coming back in Shrek 5, let's take a closer look at who this guy actually is. First of all, his real name isn't Big Jack Horner, it's Little Jack Horner. And yeah, the name sounds cute, but the story? Not so much. Little Jack Horner first appeared way back in the early 1700s. He was the main character in a well-known English nursery rhyme that went like this. Little Jack Horner sat in the corner eating his Christmas pie. He put in his thumb and pulled out a plum and said, "What a good boy am I." Sounds innocent, right? Just a little boy, happy with his pie, feeling proud of himself for pulling out a plum with his thumb. Oh, and fun fact, the thumb he sticks in the pie is described as huge and purple. But over time, that innocent image of Jack began to change. People started associating him with greed, selfishness, and even used him in political satire back in the day. So, the pie-loving boy turned into a symbol of ego and individualism. And it was exactly that darker version that DreamWorks brought to the movie. In the film, Big Jack Horner shows up as a grown man, the owner of a pie factory, which explains his over-the-top love for plum pies. And hey, here's a fun question. Has anyone out there ever actually eaten one of those? Because I haven't, but now I'm super curious. Drop a comment. Maybe someone has tried it. But it doesn't stop there. Even though he's based on a nursery rhyme character, Jack Horner in the movie becomes a collector of magical items from other fairy tales. The guy had a full-blown enchanted office, Cinderella's glass slipper, Pinocchio's talking cricket, Aladdin's magic carpet. It was basically a black market for fairy tale artifacts. Did he get all that stuff legally? That's anyone's guess. Jack was obsessed with magic and power, but like every greedy villain, he ended up getting lost in his own thirst for control. He was after the wishing star to make a super humble wish, to become the master of all the world's magic. Nothing too dramatic, right? And of course, he didn't want any of that to help others. It was pure ego. And he paid the price for that greed, betrayed everyone who helped him, caused massive chaos, and eventually died in the explosion of the wishing star. Oh, you may be thinking, but Jack died. He's not coming back in Shrek 5. Let's make a deal. Starting now, we're not thinking like that anymore, okay? Because let's be honest, it's not the first time a character dies and then magically shows up alive and well, like nothing ever happened. That's practically tradition in storytelling these days, especially in the superhero world, where death is more like a dramatic pause than an actual ending. The truth is, if the return is well written and makes sense in the story, then why not? And let's be real, these kinds of comebacks can make the story even more exciting. They open the door to explore new sides of the character, give them fresh motivations, and even build up unexpected rivalries. And speaking of comebacks, there are strong rumors swirling around Shrek 5. Word is that 3 classic classic villains might be making a return. Prince Charming, Lord Farquaad, and the fairy godmother. And yeah, they all supposedly died, right? But then we remember, where exactly did they die? Because when it comes to animation, my friend, anything goes. In Kung Fu Panda 4, basically everyone who had died came back. In Despicable Me 4, Vector, who was supposedly stuck on the moon, also returned. So yeah, nothing's off the table. Now, in the Shrek films, the fairy godmother turned into bubbles, Farquaad got eaten by a dragon, and Prince Charming got knocked out on stage. But was that really the end? I actually made a full video here on the channel breaking down those rumors, because things are heating up. It's been the talk of the fandom lately. Getting back to our dear Jack Horner. So far, he hasn't been confirmed for Shrek 5. He's also not part of those villain return rumors. But, as I've shown here, it's totally possible, and in my humble opinion, it would be amazing. Just imagine, Jack coming back from the great beyond, out for revenge on Puss in Boots. It would be wild to see him face off against Shrek. Or picture Jack and Donkey having a conversation. That would be comedy gold. I need to see that. There's also so much left to explore about his backstory. His childhood, which he clearly avoids talking about. His ego, how he actually got his hands on all those magical items. Let's be real, he was a standout villain. Unique, stylish, and with that little touch of madness we all love in DreamWorks movies. So, what do you think? Does Jack Horner deserve a second chance on the big screen? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Would you like to see him make a grand return? And of course, don't forget to click on one of these videos diving deeper into the Shrek universe. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video here on Cine Lovers.